YEEHAW! Oh, I can't post that. It's too cringe. I can't do it. Welcome back, vintage gamers, to a new Magic set. Outlaws of the Thunder Junction is here on Magic Online. The cards are slowly trickling in. There is no Brewer's Pass this time around, and my content creator program account is not yet created. Oh, I guess that is big news. If anyone hasn't heard, Magic Online is starting a content creator program where they're going to be working with content creators, giving out all access accounts to make content, working with them on projects. I'll probably end up getting Playpoint giveaways, which I'll definitely use on my live stream. So if you are a Twitch chat viewer, you might want to check in to some live streams in the near future. Hopefully we'll have some Playpoint code giveaways and working with Daybreak on Magic Online content. So, but because that is still a little ways off, it's a little hard right now to get Thunder Junction cards. But I have acquired a few, and I'm going to start making videos right away so that you can see new cards in action in Magic's oldest format in Vintage starting right now. So this one we have Nexus of Becoming. Now this is a card that's not technically in Thunder Junction. It's in the big score extra slot stuff. I don't really know how Magic card packs work these days. I believe this was like an Aftermath set, but they canceled all Aftermath sets because the first one did so badly. So it's just like an extra sheet of mythics, I think. It's a sweet one. So it's a 6 mana mythic. It is not a legendary. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you draw a card. So we already are going to get an immediate effect, pretty much. Not exactly an immediate effect, but because it's not an enter the battlefield effect. But it at least if you play it, you're going to get something right away if it's not removed. Then after you draw that card, so I guess it might be contingent on actually being able to draw the card. The Hull Breacher is not really played in Vintage right now, so not too big of a worry. Exile an artifact or creature from your hand, and if you do, you get a token that's a copy of the exiled card, except it's a 3/3 artifact creature. So this is a very reasonable casting cost, kind of, for Vintage, in the fact that it is 2 Mishra's Workshops to play on turn 2. 6 mana is the mana of Coveted Jewel, which is a tier 1 deck in the format, and so 6 mana is achievable. Now, you do need to work a little bit to get 6 mana consistently, and we'll go over how we did that soon. But you need to see what are we going to try to exile with artifacts and creatures, among artifacts and creatures that you aren't already able to cast for 6 mana is a part of it, right? So the first thing that came to my mind was, well, let's do something crazy and let's exile creature cards. Maybe we can make a blue show and tell workshop deck that like tries to put Atraxa copies into play. Big blue creatures, like Jinkataxis or something, cards that aren't really hurt by the 3/3 claws that have like powerful static abilities or ETBs. But I really wasn't able to come up with a cohesive deck plan for that deck. I have it over here. I'm going to keep it in the workshop for now. See if we can't figure out a way to make it interesting. But it's just really hard to get all the cards you want. Like if I'm going to put Atraxis in play, I want a spread amount of types. If I want to play a 6-drop, I need to have the mana to support playing a 6-drop. If I want to play Atraxis, I kind of want to have a bunch of forces that I can draw into. And it was just really hard. Maybe the deck has to be a Yorion deck. It's gonna be interesting. But a second thought here is just to stay on theme and exile artifacts. The best 2 artifacts that are above 6 mana that I felt were decent as 3/3s are Portal to Phyrexia. That's a nice one. Typically not a super castable 9-drop artifact, but if we can put it into play off our Nexus of Becoming, destroy their creatures, bring creatures back, seems like it'd be a pretty powerful play. I'm not sure you can play more than one of a 9-drop, but maybe pretty worthwhile. And then Sundering Titan. This one doesn't care too much about being a 3/3 because the main draw of this card is to destroy opponent's lands. Now, we don't have any basics, so it's just destroying our opponent's lands, which is nice. Or basic land types, I should say. And then, of course, we can just put in cards that, this is still drawing a card right away and making a creature right away. So putting something that costs mana at all is still going to be pretty reasonable. So one of the more powerful 6-drop artifacts, Godfair's Statue. Obviously, Golos is a pretty strong one. one of the things that was suggested by not me was that, well, if we just use our 6 mana to make a draw engine and then we start locking our opponent out with sphere resistances, that might be pretty worthwhile too. So turning our spheres resistances into a 3/3 can help us with our clock issues in this typical prison style shell. And then I'm going to include a bunch of metamorphs because actually copying a Nexus of Becoming isn't like the highest value play because you won't draw a card or make a copy until the next turn. But you know, starting to create double draw engines, making a bunch of 3/3s is good. And of course, copying spheres is definitely a powerful line, especially doing things like copying lodestone golems. So we're gonna try to like lock our opponent out with metamorphs plus spheres while we have a draw engine creating a clock. That's gonna be the plan here. So the rest of this deck is a prison stop sphere shop style shell. And I've made a few changes, just a small changes here, to try to allow us to cast this 6-drop more consistently. So we have no null rods in the main. I think you still want null rods on the board for the jewel matchup, but you don't really want to be turning off your mana in this deck. This deck probably needs as much mana as it can possibly get. So no null rods in the main. I have added 2 City of Traders instead of something like Ghost Quarter, and I've added some Grim Monoliths, including a Mana Vault, so that we have extra ways to get up to 6 mana. I wanted to add a key for our Grim Monoliths that we could get off of Saga, and so once you've added the key for the Grim Monoliths and the mana, it's pretty free to add the Time Vault as well. So, this is not the most outlandish idea we could have come up with for our first league, but I feel like it's some kind of a feasible idea, and a deck that could definitely have merit. And putting this Nexus of Becoming, a powerful card, into a working shell is definitely something I'm interested in doing. So yeah, the leagues to come, of course, will have a variety of decks with various, viability and various cards. I think I'm gonna wait until the client has more of the interesting cards at a lower price before starting with them. Things like Geralf and the Bird Wizard and a couple other cards. But this was the one that I was able to get my hands on right away and make content for you on day 1 of this new Outlaws of Thunder Junction metagame. I'll see you in round 1. Have you ever wanted to win your own real Black Lotus? The legendary NYSE Vintage Tournament returns this June 22nd on Long Island in New York. 15 proxy, high stakes, paper vintage action with 8 whole pieces of unlimited power as prizes. You are not going to want to miss it. Check out more information in the description below. I hope to see you there. Let's battle. All right, round 1 of a brand new Vintage League. There are 0 trophies on the board right now. Be cool if we could trophy on our very first one with new cards, but that's probably asking for too much. Vintage is a hard format to break a brew into. Even if this is kind of a normal-ish deck, it's still, I would consider, an experiment. We got Phantom Man, the Italian menace across the table. Typically a combo-oriented wizard, though can play lots of different blue decks. But it has played a lot of Oath and Breach recently. But we're pausing here, so it looks like a Luris. Doesn't mean it can't be Breach. Did this change again? Or, no, this is gold and this is white. Interesting. Mulliganing here is going to be pretty important. Typically is as a shops player. This hand does not have the fast mana required to be a vintage level hand. This one, whew, man. This one is a little suspect as well, with our 2 9 and 8 drops, but I'm going to keep this one and put the 9 drop away. And we're going to go for not 100% that this sphere is actually correct to play on turn 1, but we're going to play it. Doesn't synergize very well with trying to play Trinisphere on turn 2, but it does synergize pretty well with Saga and Wasteland, so. All right. Sphere resistance. What say you, Luris, Saga, Gamer, Resolvers? Obviously, a big risk here is I get Wasteland to myself. But the good news is we have a Saga. We can maybe go get consistent mana. So there's some counterplay. Now, if they have 2 Wastelands, well, that would be a problem. Volcanic Island, Mana Crypt. Well, Mana Crypt's pretty good into Sphere resistance, I must admit. Pay 1 mana for Mishra's Bauble, not the highest value cantrip in the world. Black Lotus. Okay. All right. Will I be incredibly upset if my opponent... No. What I'm gonna do is I am going to play a Black Lotus, and I'm gonna use the Black Lotus to play a Trinisphere, and I'm gonna wasteland them. Now, this is a kind of an aggressive line into a possible Saga. That is something I'm worried about here, but we have our own Saga. Maybe it was just better to play our own Saga first. Yeah, it probably was. All right, so they can play one spell. Oh man, they had all kinds of mana. Our sphere plan doesn't work super well if my opponent has all the mana in the world, though. So this is a 4-mana spell, so I can't actually play this because of sphere resistance. 4+2 life. All right, well, they have 6 mana. That's a lot of mana. We're gonna buy Luris, and we're gonna play a 3-mana Bauble. Not bad. I'm not currently thrilled with our spot in life here, but we just had so much artifact mana. At least we have Sagas coming down, but they could just have dress downs. Golos, the Tireless Pilgrim. Not great with our 3 mana and a 6 mana cost card. The good news is they don't really get a lot of value for Bauble looping with Luris. As Luris costs 4 and the Bauble costs 3. Though they can. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, and they can actually spend 7 mana to draw a card every turn here. Looks like that's the plan. I have constructs, but I don't feel good about the spot we're in life. Just, it feels like a lot of these Luris Saga games just come down to how much fast mana you draw. Even, I mean, obviously it's accentuated by the cards that I'm playing here with the spheres and the Trinisphere, but kind of just have that feeling in general as well. I mean, we're definitely making 2 constructs here, and we're definitely gonna go get a Soul Ring. Can't play our Mox Ruby because it costs 3. An attack. I mean, they do need to find Vault Key, or they need to find a dress down. I guess a repeal is probably okay as well. I don't know how many dress downs they play. If they're playing blue-black control, 1 or 2, right? But if they're playing a combo-oriented deck, maybe 3 or 4. Let's see. Bauble again. Oh, there's the Time Vault. They have the Vault Key. 3-mana Time Vault. 3-mana Key. Take turns. The good news is I'm not currently dead to that because they have... Oh, they have a Tinker. Oh, no, they have a Vampiric. I'm not currently dead to this because they have a Mana Crypt in play. So... Although my opponent has Time Vault Key here, and we don't really have a way to stop it. What is my best line? If I had a Time Vault or a key I could copy, I could just copy right now and copy their Luris. I definitely am playing something so that both of my constructs are lethal. I can't play enough things to make this block not be good. I do think I want to take them off mana if possible, so... Oh, I guess I can't strip mine and play a Metamorph, huh? So I could play a land and play a Ruby. I don't have 2 spells to play no matter what, right? Mr. Trinifier's hampering my style. I mean, is a Luris even actually any better than a construct token? It's not, right? So should just play. This costs 4. And I'm just going to get another construct. And then I'm going to attack. And they're going to go to 3. So they can die to this mana crypt on the first turn. And then I'm going to get rid of one of their blue-black lands so that it's harder for them to play Magic. Let's see what happens. All right, so crypt flip for lethal here. Survey says no, they won the crypt flip. So if they have a Tinker in their deck, they do win this game by tinkering away their mana crypt for a key. If they only have a key in their deck, then they do need to beat the mana crypt on board. All right, they do only have a key. So no transmute artifact, no tinker. Untaps mana vault. I will not concede, so see what you got. Wastelanding them here made it so they couldn't play another spell that turn. All right, they lost the flip on the first turn of infinite turns. And we have won the match, or the game, I should say. Not bad, not bad. We take this. We definitely take these. All right, blue-black Luris. Notably, does not usually beat a Worm Coil Engine. So I'm going to bring a Worm Coil Engine in. On the draw, do we really want a Karn? I'm not convinced we truly want a Karn on the draw here. Chalice on the draw. Not exactly thrilled about Chalice on the draw either. Neither am I about Trinisphere on the draw. Like, my opponent should be having a hand that has a lot of mana, right? I guess, like, Trinisphere is good if they don't have a lot of mana, but I just feel like these cards on the draw are just so bad. Not bad. They're just worse. I think it's worthwhile to have a Needle in our deck. Definitely like the idea of a Needle in our deck. We could play a single Null Rod that we could tutor for with Inventor's Fair. That seems like a valid line as well. Like, I can put in a bunch of these cards, and they're all okay. Maybe we'll trim some Metamorphs. Maybe we'll trim a Golos. I'm not really sure. All of our cards have pretty reasonable value, so it's kind of tough. I'm just gonna trim some cards, and we'll go from there. I should the realistic answer is I should be trimming some amount of Nexus of Becomings and playing, you know, even probably in this deck I shouldn't be playing 4 Nexus of Becomings, but it's really hard to judge how strong the card is without playing with it a lot. And the way to play with the card a lot is to just put 4 in your deck. So although it's probably not in our best interest to play this many Nexus of Becomings, though it might be, we want to figure out what is the power level of this card, what is it doing for us, and the way to do that is to play it. So this hand has got an interesting mana situation, but probably worth keeping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could play a Golos on turn 1. I wonder if this deck wants an Expedition map along with a Golos, just so that your Sagas can turn into Tolarian Academies. It's possible. We get to do a nice F6 here. Looks like they have at least... Wow, Tolarian Academy. 3 mana on turn 1 from the opponent. This is why I took the Chalice and the Trinisphere out. Obviously Chalice could like answer bobble loops, but I feel like Lantern's a better card at doing that. But yeah, definitely those cards get a lot worse after your opponent has already played their Moxen. Not much we can do here. So we're gonna add 2 mana, look at the top card with bobble, and then you play 3 mana and put the Luris in hand. Okay. If they have a Lotus... Oh, we have a Wasteland up here is kind of interesting. I'm not 100% sure Wasteland is that good. Like, they clearly don't have any more Moxen or they would have played it already. And currently, this is just an island, right? So let's see what they do if I play a Black Lotus. Nothing. All right, I'm just going to play Black Lotus, and I think I would rather use the Grim Monolith on a Nexus rather than a Golos. So I think what I'm just going to do is I'm going to just play this Lantern and hit their Spobble and pass. And then next turn, I can theoretically either just play the Golos without using the Grim Monolith at all, or I can use the Grim Monolith and go all the way up to Nexus and use Nexus to play a Golos. It just depends on like how deep I want to go. Soul Ring. All right, well, that's a pretty good one now that they have 4 mana. Oh, their paradoxical outcome. I see. A man after my own heart. Well, that's gonna make choices next turn really hard. I definitely would have boarded differently if I had known they were PO. Null rods are definitely coming in. Wow. They have Sapphire too, which is like by far the best card in their deck because it lets them loop POs here. Yeah. All right. Well, we definitely don't have the cards. I would have mulliganed this hand if I had known my opponent was on PO. Versus PO, your mulliganing heuristics are far different than versus blue-black Luris. I guess that's an upside of playing Luris as your PO deck with Luris is that people might mistake you for not a combo deck, mistake you for a control deck. Because my heuristics for mulliganing are far different. I'm going to mulligan to a sphere every time. I'm going to mulligan to restrictive things that are restrictive and will stop my opponent from murdering us. Sorry, unaliving us. Hopefully YouTube is kind to me. All right. I have no idea how we're going to win this one. It's probably too late for us. There are 7 cards in hand. All right, so I think the answer is we do need to strip mine, but we also need to monolith. So I said we also need to Golos is what I should say. I think we need to do both here. This probably just becomes an... I guess a Tolarian is better than an Ancient Tomb. All right, they have the Force. We're not going to be able to keep them off blue mana, so we might as well just Wasteland this Saga. We do technically have construct answers with we do technically have construct answers with our portal still in our deck. Not exactly ideal. I don't know. It looks pretty unwinnable considering our opponent has already looped 2 POs with a Sapphire Soul Ring Mana Vault in play. We're gonna have to really switch things around. We're definitely gonna board out some amount of Nexus Becoming if we're gonna play a bunch of Null Rods next time. Yeah, that's bad for the home team. Nothing I could have really done to stop this, though. So we can use the Saga and get a key. That's definitely something. I keep drawing the 8 drops. I wish we would not draw the large and in charge ones. All right, so I'm going to use this key to untap this monolith, and we're going to play a new Saga, and we're going to pass, and hopefully nothing bad happens to us, I guess. I don't know. I believe things are going to be bad for us no matter what we choose to do. That does seem to be the case. Yeah, so we're going to definitely board out probably half the Nexus of Becomings, the Sundering Titan, some of the Monoliths, and we're going to board into a more of a Null Rod prison-oriented strategy just because that's our best way of playing against this kind of deck. We're going to have like Mind Break Traps and Null Rods, and this deck doesn't really function if there's a Null Rod in play. It's definitely the worst matchup for the card, or the worst matchup for the deck is Null Rod for sure. The worst card, yeah. Dress down to draw into their vamp, and then they're going to PO or something here, and then we're going to concede. Yeah, we can concede from here. Opponent's just going to draw through their whole deck and kill us with Volkey. So yes, so now that we know what our opponent is actually doing, they're not actually playing blue-black control. They are simply playing, or they're playing PO. We're going to bring in Null Rods, and we're going to bring in Trinisphere, and we're going to go bring in Mind Break Traps and Karn and Chalice. So we have lots of good cards coming in. Don't think we want access to Portal. We definitely don't want access to Wormcoil. Probably trimming 2 Nexuses. We're gonna look for trimming this Grim Monolith. And then we're just playing more control oriented. Probably. So they have a Hercules in their deck, which is good against us for sure. Do we want access to a cage? It's not really different than playing a lantern. Yeah, this looks fine. So now we're going to change our mulliganing heuristics as well. We're going to try to mulligan directly towards a null rod effect as our #1 priority. Yeah. Nice. Chalice and null rod and mindbreak trap. Very nice. I'm going to lead on chalice. Hopefully we can bait a force off of this chalice here. And then we can slam a null rod. Nice. Got the force on the chalice. Then we go Ancient Tomb null rod. And now they have a hard time playing the game, hopefully. So that's why we didn't get wastelanded at all in those other games. So they did have a sapphire. The good news is when you get the chalice bait with when you get to use the chalice as bait, the null rod typically is going to be much stronger because it means they care about the chalice, right? All right, so they have needled wasteland, so that to protect their saga and protect their sea, I guess. I can just metamorph this needle if they play a saga, so I'm gonna wait on the metamorph a little bit here and just play this lantern out. Obviously, it doesn't do anything. Hope this mindbreak trap will probably not be online ever, but that's also means we're in a good spot. I can't actually get rid of this needle. I don't have like an Argenta Masticore or anything, so hopefully they don't find their Talarian Academy. We do have a Strip Mine in our deck, though. I'm not gonna need. I don't want to like play a Metamorph on Saga until they actually have a Saga. The good news actually is we do have a hard cast Mindbreak Trap now. That's actually really crazy. It comes up more often than you would think. Like obviously it's a very seldom occurrence. You have both have to have Mindbreak Trap in your hand, and you have to have Talarian Academy in play. But it happens. It seldom happens, but it does happen. All right, we just have infinite mana and nothing to do with it. Maybe we shouldn't have got rid of those Nexus of Becomings. Opponent only has 1 blue land, though, so that's good. Not going to get Hercules or anything here. They're going to play something, though. Steal Sabotage on my Null Rod. No. That's a good one. All right, well, now we're out of answers, so... Really wish I could Wasteland here. Wasteland would be quite good against this board. Maybe I'll draw Strip Mine. Mana Crypt. Man, I wonder if I should play Metamorph on Nullron. I mean, they're not likely to have another Steel Sabotage. What they're likely to have at this point... Oh, they have Brain Freeze in their deck. So they're the... we didn't even see a Volk, did we? We might have seen a Volk, actually. Oh, I feel like we did see a Volk. And I'm just blind. That happens sometimes when you're making content. So I have a Hercules and a Sabotage. I'm gonna wait still. I really feel like investing this Metamorph is not what we want. Sabotage is good, though. They have a second one? Oh, they have a repeal. All right, they're just cantripping their repeal. We need some action here. Before they find lands. Inventor's Fair. That's a pretty good one. Play out the Mana Crypt to be my Inventor's Fair. Mana. Or should I just play out a Metamorph? I feel like we can get away with a Mana Crypt here. So let's search our library with our Inventor's Fair and get a Crucible. I don't know. So I can get a Crucible and then start looping Inventor's Fairs. I can get a Lodestone Golem and start beating down. I kind of like that idea the most, actually. And then I can Metamorph it on the next turn. Yeah. We do need to erase our Mana Crypt here, but this will stop them from casting Hercules Recall, which I think is pretty important. And then next turn we'll just Metamorph it. And then we should be in a great spot. And one our flip, and I think we're off to the races here. Needle on Saga now. And then Metamorph. And then they should be locked out forever. Oh, they have a force. Damn. Unlucky. All right. It's a good one. I only have 2 cards in hand, though. Oh, they hit the Saga. They can cast Hercules if they have a card left. They had to use their Merchant Scroll. Nexus of Becoming. All right, let's see what I draw. Yeah, second Null Rod, sure. And it's a 3/3. Doesn't really stop Hercules Recall, unfortunately, but probably supposed to play City out this turn. All right, they can't make a blocker with this even if they draw land, so that's nice. I have all my Mana Crypt flips. They're going to 1. So I think it's better to cast Metamorph first. Because this way, if they do have... Okay, I guess they can't cast Circles Recall because we have a Lowstone Golem in play. So I think that means they're just dead. Sweet. 1-0. This Nexus was okay. It didn't really matter, but it's kind of cool. I like it. Powerful card. All right. Because the Saga just fades away, and it costs 4 mana to cast Hercules, so I can't imagine they can win after that. Boom! All right. They did have the Hercules Recall in their hand. Wow. They had the Hercules Recall, and we were able to stop them. You love to see it. That's a great way to start this video. All right, on to the next one. We got Red Hot Phil. 87. Good way to start off this event here. I'm pretty excited about new cards. New cards are fun. Keep the game interesting. Keep a game fresh. This looks like a keep. I wish we would stop having the Portal and the Sundering Titan in our hand, but I guess that's just like the joy of playing Oath or Oath-like decks here. I mean, this hand is going to be a keep, usually. Obviously, there's things that this is going to die to and lose to, but what are we going to really do from there? On the draw, we're probably 0% against Jewel, which is what I think we're playing against. Yeah. I'm not sure how we can ever really beat Jewel. Especially on the draw. On the play, we might have like some game, but on the draw, we just have so little going on for us here. The good news is we do have a taxing effect that we can double up on and a Wasteland, but they've already played a Grim Monolith, so this is definitely something. But I guess if they just play, I mean, like, now if they play a second Workshop, they can't cast it right away. A Jewel. If they play a 1-ring, we can also have a 1-ring, but theirs is a lot better because they just have this combo deck, right? Nicely, the Thorn does not tax our Metamorph. Very, very nice. Ooh, blue mana. Tinka? Are we Tinking? Looks like we're going to cast Tinker. But what are we going to get with our Tinker? Oh, maybe we were trying to cast a 1-ring. Looks like we were trying to cast the 1-ring then. If it's a 4-mana card that they can't cast, it's got to be the 1-ring, which means that they drew it for turn, right? Or they would have cast it last turn. It's a little unfortunate for us. I guess what we can do is simply play a Metamorph as a Thorn. I'm not sure this is better than copying a One Ring, but it might be. Our best draw is probably a Golos, realistically, or maybe a Nexus would be coming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Yeah, Nexus is becoming pretty good. Oh, they drew the Tolarian Academy. Only an island here. Still can't cast Jewel. Not bad. Fortunately, this portal doesn't do anything right now. Not that I can cast it. It's an 11 mana card. Yeah, Saga or Golos. Oh, they have their own Metamorph. They're going to make a mana. Okay, they're going to make another Monolith. Yeah, I mean, it's not great for me. It's not great. This is the kind of matchup where this is the big reason we have all those no rods in our sideboard. This matchup is tough and pretty prevalent. Saga is definitely one of the best cards we could have drawn. It's going to put a threat on the table. But it's probably just not fast enough. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 6 mana right now. Could play a Jewel. Not Jewel. Could play a Ring. Now they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana still. So there's going to be a Ring. Not a huge deal, but over time could be a problem. At least these monoliths are turned off now. Play a Saga of their own. Maybe we are going to go portaling at some point in this game. Crucible of Worlds? That's a good draw. Uncounterable as well. Does mean that we're not making a Saga token, but... Now, what are we hitting with this? I kind of feel like we're hitting the Tolarian Academy first, and then... Like, we do let them get a Saga token, but that's okay. Obviously, they have a One Ring, but they are slowed down quite a bit, so it might not matter too much. We'll see what happens. This is an interesting game. This game, my opponent did not kill us fast enough, so the game was stalled out a little bit here. They don't have that much mana. And we are going to get to Wasteland the Saga. We have a Strip Mine lock and Double Thorn, but they have a One Ring. We hit their best card, though, Tolarian Academy. Tolarian Academy is definitely the best card in this situation. I think we have chances here. This feels reasonable. I am excited for how this game might play out. What's their best play? I don't even know. Like, when they're not casting jewels, like, what are they really doing? Like, they're going to make a big construct, but our construct is going to be bigger. And then we can loop constructs as well, because we have this Crucible. Crucible was a hell of a draw. Crucible is such a good card. No land, eh? Okay. I mean, we do have a Mana Crypt in play. I guess that is actively an issue. I didn't really think about that too much here. Ooh, not going to activate the Saga? What if we had Needle? I feel like you should activate the Saga there. So a Manifold Key is +1 mana. A Soul Ring is +2 mana. And a Black Lotus might let us catch this portal in the future. Key also makes us unblockable or vigilanting. So probably Key. And then we're going to bring back Strip Mine. And then we're going to Strip Mine their Saga. They're going to make a construct. We can't play a land. All right. Well, I have this active Mana Crypt, which is not great, but they have a ring, which is better, but they don't have a way to make a lot of mana. And we have Double Thorn, and we have an unblockable 8/8. And an vigilancing 8/8 as well. Or I should say, or a vigilancing 8/8. I can get back my Saga at any point, but I feel like we're just supposed to strip mine them every turn and try to keep them off mana. And they're probably supposed to like play a bunch of Moxen and try to get mana up. Try to make their contract big enough that I need to do something about it. Actually, that's a problem, right? If they like just play a bunch of mana, then that could be a problem at some point. Because we probably have to attack with Vigilance for the first few times. All right. I guess they could also just Metamorph, right? Because Metamorph is not taxed, and they just make another construct token. That's pretty unfortunate as well. Actually, it's really hard for us to beat Metamorph. Maybe we should have gone Black Lotus and try to get this portal in play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're 2 mana away from portal. Didn't really think. Maybe, yeah, I mean, if we can just draw a Nexus of Becoming, maybe that's our best place. Can kill their construct. Weird game. Very odd game. Very odd game. Yeah, because my Thorns don't hit their Metamorph from a taxing perspective, just like they didn't hit our Metamorph, so. Cool. Very cool game. You love it when the Jewel doesn't kill you on turn 1. Interesting. Very interesting. What else? What else can we really do from here, though? I mean, we have our plan, but is our plan good enough against the One Ring plus? Wow, they have a main Hull Breacher. Interesting. That definitely makes our that makes our Nexus of Becoming draw a lot worse. Also, it means they might have something like Twister in their deck, maybe? I'm not sure. They did not play another land? Why is that? They discarded Time Vault, which means we can't copy Time Vault. I lost the flip. I drew a Wasteland. They could trade off this construct here. I can't really do anything about that. I think I'm okay with trading off the construct. They're gonna chump. Oh, they're gonna trade off the construct. All right. They do have to win, and they have no way to make a clock now. So, I mean, I guess we have a Mana Crypt as our clock. Huh. I'm not 100% convinced my play was the best. Their clock is worse, right? They take 4, and I take maybe 3. Maybe my clock is worse. I didn't do the math. But at least they can't, like, metamorph my construct anymore. I guess they can always play a new ring, and I can't do anything about this crypt because I don't have a Karn in my main, right? So I guess maybe I'm the one who's an idiot here and should not have traded my construct off. But I wasn't allowed to make it unblockable. Was I just, like, not going to attack? That doesn't seem right. They're just not playing lands. Like, they clearly have lands, right? They're at 11 cards in hand. I feel like they should still play a land so that every turn I'm forced to strip mine. Because if I'm not forced to strip mine, I get a Saga token and I can maybe win with it. Probably can win with it, realistically, here. They pitched at Hold Reacher. Oh, sorry, Tinker. I lost another Crypt Flip. There's my Nexus of Becoming. They guess they have Force of Will. Oh, they can't. They do not have Force of Will mana. This costs 8. Wait, do I not have enough for it? I do, but I'll die. I do not have enough for this because I can only make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana if I don't use my Ancient Tomb. All right, well, it is what it is. I just want to make. Hopefully, I win one of my 2 next crypt flips, make a Saga token, and have it attack for lethal. Obviously, a new ring, if they make 6 mana with a workshop, can save them from that. Man, this Mana Crypt play is really haunting me, but I did lose, I think, all my crypt flips, so. I don't remember winning a crypt flip. No, I lost all my crypt flips. There's a workshop. So what do they play? A Metamorph as a ring? No, they're just playing a new Monolith. Okay. They're going to have to play a new ring next turn. We could draw a Time Vault. So I guess we have the same problems here with this Mana Crypt. I wonder if we're not allowed to play the Mana Crypt in this version. I do have a card in the board. Oh, I guess that is the first land they hit. So they said, oh my gosh, a land. So they've had, what, 3 lands in their, 5 lands in their, top half of their deck. Yeah. That's not statistically likely, but it's not the craziest either. Anything. I would have allowed them to have a land if I could have maybe not taken a crit flip. Maybe not. Maybe that's actually loose. They do have like perfect hands, and they're discarding 4 cards every time. They don't have an Otoara anymore, though. That's nice. All right. If I can just win this crit flip, strip mine their workshop, they need to play a new ring. It will give them protection. They discarded Ancestral Force. I lost another crit flip. I just kind of incredible. Just gonna lose this game on 5 crit flip losses and straight crit flip losses, I guess. Yeah, they have to play a new ring this turn anyways, or they'll die. So they're definitely gonna play a new ring. Yeah. So they pay 6 mana, they play a new ring. I just simply have no way of getting rid of my Mana Crypt. I guess I can get an Inventor's Fair and gain life, but... I think this game entirely at this point comes down to, do I win enough crit flips after losing 5 straight? 4 straight? I mean, it's 4 or 5. All right. I feel like if I could have used every other turn you take 3 damage, we'd be in a lot better spot here. I lost every single one! I lost every crit flip and lost the game. That is wild. Maybe I shouldn't have attacked. All right, it's my fault, maybe. Who knows? All right, I have Karn, and I have Mindbreak Trap, and I have Null Rod. Sundering Titan doesn't do anything. Portal only does something, and if they have constructs, I don't know if I care. Crucible, good. I definitely don't think I want Grim Monoliths if I'm playing all these Null Rods. Which means I think I'm going to trim some of these Nexuses here. Especially because my opponent can copy Nexus as well with Metamorph, which is kind of annoying. Maybe I do need a portal in my... I just don't want to get my portal copied either, do I? Needle seems necessary. I feel like most of the things that I play I don't want actually to get copied. So I'm going to board out more Nexuses. Just seems like not a great... I mean, like, unfortunately, this is just like not a great matchup for that kind of thing to be going on. All right. Oh, that one's good. Got a nice Chalice of the Void. It's not great, but it's not bad. Like if they go Workshop Monolith, then obviously this has some problems, right? We're definitely down to play Chalice. I guess they can technically copy Crucible if I go for Wasteland Locks. Maybe I was supposed to play Metamorph as a Pearl there, but I could play Metamorph as a Monolith, I guess, if they play Monolith. Ancient Tomb, Monolith, I assume. Oh, Soul Ring. It's even better. I'm gonna play a Needle on the One Ring. Ooh, should I wait now? I feel like I should wait now. I feel like I should just get a Golos first. I'm going to get a Strip Mine if this resolves. This way, even if they play the One Ring, I'll just Needle it. Oh, they're gonna play a Jewel? Bold. Probably have to, but bold. Have a mana, a Golos. Oh, they have a Might Stone, Weak Stone. Oh, they're gonna draw cards with the Might Stone, Weak Stone. So they're gonna kill the Golos for a second. See. And now they have a Metamorph on Golos. All right. Cooking. You could go for Crucible here. That way you're not dead to the Strip Mine lock, but maybe they're fine with these things in play. We both have double Ancient Tomb, huh? Triple Ancient Tomb from the opponent. Alright, well, I will Wasteland this. And then I'm going to Wasteland this. And then I'm going to take 4. I'm going to play a Might Stone, Weak Stone, and kill their Golos and attack, I think. Ah, they have a Force, pitching Force. Okay, I still think I want to hold off on Needling here, especially because I can pay it without losing life. Though I guess if they play a Jewel now, it's kind of annoying. Because I can't get in. Weird. It's going to be a weird matchup. I just can't imagine a regular shop set can ever be super favored versus Jewel. But we do have Null Rod. Null Rod is definitely a mirror breaker. Not that this is a mirror, but... Alright, what you got? On a ring? Alright, so the ring's going to cantrip for them, which I think is fine. But it also like took the whole turn to do that. And it will start pinging them for 1 every turn. So I feel like it's worth it. Unless, of course, they draw another blue card Force, which doesn't feel super likely. Oh, they're going to have a Jewel anyways because they drew Tolarian Academy. What a god. I guess I drew Tolarian Academy. Am I a god? Maybe. Damn. I thought we were going to win this game, and then the Tolarian Academy happened. This is like just... it's like the most important card in the whole deck, I swear. Though I guess we don't have a Null Rod in play, so... Good news is they can't play any 0 drops. Bad news is we're dead. God, if they PO off of this without playing any 0 drops, it's crazy. No PO. Alright, do I have any other way of getting my Golos in? I guess if I draw a Manifold Key. A Null Rod is a good one, though. A Null Rod is a good one. Alright, I'm going to bait a Force with a Needle. Alright, well, that's the One Ring. I guess it's going to be Urza Saga. Because this Null Rod has to resolve no matter what anyways to win this game. So I'm just going to name Urza Saga. And then I'm going to cast Null Rod. And if this resolves, then we're still winning the game. Null Rod, I drew the Null Rod off the top. So I have the Strip Mine for the Tolarian Academy. My opponent's entire board is turned off. They're taking extra damage every turn. Probably just a win because Jewel just doesn't function through a Null Rod. The Jewel deck just instantly dies. So much of the time. Obviously, if we had played the Null Rod first and then they played the Academy, then things get a little different. But Academy into the Null Rod Strip Mine is definitely different. So I turned off the Saga, so they can't even do anything about the Saga. Not that they could ever do anything about the Saga, because I have Strip Mine. So maybe it was better, but didn't really feel like there's any reason to name the One Ring when I'm going to have a Null Rod. My entire game hinges upon the Null Rod resolving anyways. I'm going to keep them Strip Mine locked here. Can't attack yet. They are taking 1 damage every turn from the One Ring. Metamorph. I turned off my own Saga, so I'm not sure a Metamorph really does much here. Definitely gonna wait until it doesn't cost me life anyways. Don't think they have outs at this point. Yeah, challenge check myself. Do I want a Jewel? A Golos? Another Null Rod? I guess I want a Golos getting an Inventor's Fair. Oh, I guess I could have attacked. I guess attacking doesn't do anything. Oh, I can Caracas back their Metamorph. That's pretty good. Or Caracas back my Golos, of course. But I can steal these 2 jewels, so that's gotta be the best. Yeah, yeah. Okay, all right. That's a big win. I think we were very unlikely to win that game unless we top decked immediately. Null Rod, and we did, so. All right, this game is going to be very much based on hopefully we draw a Mindbreak Trap in our opening hand and follow it up with a Null Rod, or keep a Null Rod hand and hope they do not kill us on turn 1. I think this Nexus of Becoming is just not actually a card I'm allowed to keep in this matchup inside at all because of the Metamorphs. That's kind of crazy. I feel bad. That is the card we're trying to test here, but it's just not the right matchup. It's just not the right matchup. It's going to go badly, I think, for us. They're going to like start putting in jewels and drawing 3 cards, and it's going to be a mess. Our hand does have a chalice, but we're on the draw, and we have nothing else, really. Gonna mulligan this hand, obviously. Gonna find a Null Rod or a trap. Hopefully a trap and a Null Rod. All right, they kept 7. I mulligan. This hand has a trap. Gonna keep it. And then I'm gonna get rid of... I think the chalice on 0 is still fine. It definitely will help later into like PO things. Maybe, yeah, I think it's just worth it keeping that around. Obviously, an Ancient Tomb is not bad here, but I don't think it's necessary. They just play a turn 1 ring with 2 spells. Yeah. All right. Well, that is a bad outcome. I must say that is definitely one of the bad outcomes. And then double Moxen? You got it, homie. Damn. Brutal. Oh, now I want the Ancient Tomb back. I guess I can get my own ring, huh? Is that better? I guess so. I didn't even consider that right away. All right, turn off Future Moxen. The problem is they can just jam a jewel here. I can't trap that. And there's not much I can do about that. There's not much I can do in general. I just need to draw an Null Rod off of my ring. Definitely wish I had the Ancient Tomb back, but maybe it doesn't matter because I have a ring in play. Yeah, the Crucible doesn't really do anything, so I guess definitely a Metamorph draw card is better. Ancient Tomb. First spell is 3 mana. Tinker, maybe? Oh, Metamorph as what? A new monolith, and then a jewel, and then a pass, and a time vault? Pass. Okay. I just need a null rod, right? Null rod is just straight up winning. No null rod. So I can go Kolos. I can go double sphere. I can go Wasteland, Crucible. None of this really works for me. Null rod was kind of the only card that worked here. Inventor's Fair into Sphere so that I can find a Crucible if I mean, I can't use this to find a Null Rod until I have an Academy or something. Can't accelerate my mana because if I draw except Chalice. There are just so many things that kill me. I'm not actually sure Sphere is enough. Maybe I'm just supposed to go Golos for a Talarian Academy. I kind of like the idea of just Golosing for a Talarian Academy, hoping they brick again, and then that way I have actually ability to do things. Just feels like I don't have the ability to play the game if I don't do that. I feel like this sets me up for like my opponent getting very unlucky and bricking. Also, it makes a creature that can attack into a jewel. If they go for a jewel and I trap their follow-up to a jewel. Obviously they can copy this with a Metamorph, get a Saga, so there's some value there. Just PO. Looks like it's just PO. I mean, I can't do much about PO. Hopefully they play one more thing before POing. I can't counter this PO. I can counter the next PO. Ah, they're just casting PO. The good news is they can't play the 0 drops back, so I might just trap the ring if they play the ring. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna play the monoliths first, right? Or maybe they just play a jewel. I mean, they might just have force at this point too. They can't make another blue mana after. I guess they can't. They just have jewels. Probably just have to trap the first jewel. I do just need to draw Null Rod though, right? Null Rod is just the only card that matters. And the Karn, obviously, which is just Null Rod. Man. Maybe I should have played 4 Null Rods. I did have 4 Null Rods and I wanted to fit some other cards in my sideboard. So I put the Karn there. Time Walk. Yep. Can't do anything about that. It sucks that I like can't bluff Mindbreak Trap here at all because like who knows what order they're gonna play their spells in. Argentum Masticore to kill the all right, whatever. I mean, I guess I'll counter that one. Just kills my Chalice and probably can't win after that. Maybe I was supposed to go double sphere. Golos just getting a workshop. That's kind of an interesting line, isn't it? Because man, my opponent didn't even combo off in any of these games, and they're at 5 minutes on the clock. I mean, I'm sure they're just going for a jewel line next. It doesn't matter. I get to F6 and it doesn't matter what I do. So it's just, can my opponent win with 5 minutes? I would think so. I mean, this version is not as susceptible to Chalice on Zero as like normal PO would be, because they have all the Grim Monoliths. So. All right, they discarded Time Vault, Sapphire Jet, Ring, PO. There's no way that makes sense, right? Oh, Ancestral is their off their blue mana? Interesting. And then Jewel? But don't you need PO? Why'd you discard PO? Why'd you discard Time Vault? Don't you need Time Vault to win? I feel like you need the Time Vault to win. Is this just going to be Jewel into Mightstone, kill my Golos? Is that what they're up to? I don't know. I guess we're going to find out together. Argenta Masticore. 7 health from the opponent. Not sure. I guess I can't null rod them with that in play. 2 Argenta Masticores. Interesting. Wow. This is gonna be a weird one. 13 life. Draw with my thing. Now I have 2 Argenta Masticores. Can also just hit up this Jewel, right? Wow, what am I supposed to do from here? I don't have a Hercules or anything. Did I keep in the portal, or did I take the portal out? I took the portal out. I am definitely going to make a new One Ring. That's for sure. The question is, what else am I going to do? Am I supposed to get a Jewel? Wastelanding them doesn't seem very efficient. Unfortunately, their Masticores trigger before ours does. It's not easy for them to kill a Masticore, but it's definitely possible. All right, I am going to start by copying a Jewel. Lodestone, Emerald. I mean, I'm really hampered by my own Chalice a bit here. How many more Metamorphs do I have? 2 more Metamorphs. Yeah, I don't know. Unfortunately, now that I have a Jewel, they're going to steal my Jewel. I can give myself protection. Doesn't really do anything. I feel like what I need here is a Karn into a portal. But it's really hard to do that with a Chalice in play. Because if I didn't have a Chalice in play, I would just have an infinite Tolarian Academy, and I think it would be fine. But I'm pretty sure that's my way forward, so... Pretty sure that's how I win this game. I just can't fucking hit, though. Ah. I did not hit anything, so I didn't even get a 1 ring. It just is super doomed then. I just drew all lands, huh? All lands in Moxen. I drew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lands in Moxen. And then I just die because they just kill my Goldless if they have a 5-drop or higher, and then attack me for lethal because I didn't make a 1 ring. I guess my second one here had to be on a 1 ring. So I'm going to die to my 1 ring on the next upkeep because I don't have enough creatures anyways. I guess I can't really even draw my whole deck here because I just didn't have enough things that mattered. Oh, I should have... I'm an idiot. I had an Inventor's Fair. I should not have used my Workshop to play the second Jewel. I should have used my Jewel to play my second Jewel. And then my Inventor's Fair could have gotten... Well, I didn't have Portal in my deck. And Inventor's Fair can't get Karn. So is there actually anything I can get? All my Inventor's Fair can get is another Metamorph. Right? Like, I don't actually have another out. Like, I can get the Null Rod, but the Null Rod doesn't do anything with the Argenta Masticores in play. So if I had gone Inventor's Fair, I don't even think that does anything because I can't get the Portal. I guess I should have kept the Portal in? It didn't really make sense to keep the Portal in. I think it's fine to have it in the sideboard for my Karn. I guess at any point in time here, I could have drawn Vault Key. Or at any point in time here, I could have drawn Key and just made this unblockable, put them to 2 and stole their Jewel. But I didn't draw anything of value. Damn. I guess we just lose. Trying to like find a way through here, but they're just like not actually. I guess I just don't have that many cards. I guess I just don't have that many cards that matter. I don't feel like I played this up optimally, but was gonna be tough no matter what here. So lots of Argenta Masticores. All right, we're back for round 3 in glorious Vintage League fashion. This is a brand new Vintage League. There are no trophies yet. We are playing Phantom Man again. Hopefully we don't get PO'd too hard. This hand definitely has some upside, but it has a lot of downside as well. If it draws a Workshop, it's pretty good. I'm going to keep it, though. I think I'm okay with this hand being a bit speculative. I think you need to kind of have a powerful hand to beat this Luris Breach PO deck, especially on the draw. So I'm going to try it. Definitely gonna have a hard time. Did not draw the thing we were looking for, huh? All right, we're gonna hope that they don't have another blue source. And what am I gonna do? I'm gonna get my Black Lotus forced, it looks like. All right, well, I have nothing left. If they have a blue source, they just play Ancestral. They have 1 ring. Not a blue source. All right, so they don't have a blue source. I need to draw a Workshop now. That's a Portal to Phyrexia. So, yeah, not a Workshop. I have not gotten my wish here. Kept a bit of a speculative one, but my opponent... Oh, they top decked a Sapphire? All right. I'm going to concede this game as there's no chance of us winning. And we're going to move on to game number 2. Definitely unlucky, but we did take a bit of a risk, and I think that's okay there. I know what my opponent's going to play, and we're on the draw. I think it's okay to take a little bit of a risk. I'm going to go with Null Rods, Mindbreak Traps, Karn the Great Creator, maybe this Needle. We're going to take out Portal, take out Sundering Titan. I don't actually think Sundering Titan matters in this kind of matchup. I don't think the Nexuses are that bad, though. I guess They still have the problem of we're probably boarding out these Grim Monoliths. So trim a couple of them. And then we'll trim... What was the other card we trimmed? Maybe we're supposed to cut this Mana Crypt when we do this. It's hard to cast Karn if you don't have a Mana Crypt. Maybe we like just have no need for a Karakas in this match. Oh, there's still a Lurrus deck. I'll just trim a Golos. Alright, well, we have a bunch of tools. I guess they're the Breach version, so maybe we should be bringing in the Soul Guide Lantern, actually. I don't know. Like, the number one way to stop all of the things my opponent is doing is just playing No Rod. No Rod's going to stop Underworld Breach. No Rod's going to stop PO. No Rod's going to stop Saga. Like, it's just going to be the best against everything they choose to do here, so... Alright, I'm going to go with Wasteland Sphere. Let's hide our Tolarian Academy for a turn. If this gets forced, it does... I mean, not much I can do. They're the force deck. See how many Moxen they have. Black Lotus. That's a good one. I am just pretty over playing non-force decks in general. It's just really hard for them to be good in Vintage. It's just the number of powerful hands that you get is just so much lower. This is not the worst thing that's ever happened off of a Black Lotus. They went for the Merchant Scroll into the Ancestral, so it's not like they used... I mean, they used a ton of cards. Oh, well... Needling my Wasteland and then jamming a Saga is gonna beat me here, for sure. There's, like, very few things I can do about this. So I just draw my one Strip Mine. This Needle here is just absurdly good. What are we even really doing from here? I don't know. Don't really see a path forward. The Needle prevented... I mean, like, if they don't have a Needle, then I don't care, but they have the Needle. It's too strong. Yeah. Not much I can really do here. My opponent's draw was far too strong. Force, Lotus. I mean, it's quite possible if they didn't have Force that their Black Lotus wouldn't have been castable, but... Man, we're just severely outclassed here. Again, I don't think that we're in that bad of a spot if there wasn't a Needle on Wasteland, but with a Needle on Wasteland, like, we are just doomed to the Saga, right? Oh, they have a Time Vault? Have a key. Sure. That's a good one. 1, 2. Oh, no, because I didn't play my Academy out. Oh, why didn't I play my Academy? I can't get Wastelanded. Oh, I also know they don't have Wasteland in their deck. Okay, well, I deserve this. I definitely lost this because of my own play here. Yes, I should have played the Academy last turn because there's no reason to hide it anymore. I guess there is technically a Strip Mine in their deck, so there technically is a reason to hide it. But if I'm trying to draw into one of my 2 Nexus of Becomings, then I need to play my Academy last turn so I can play an Ancient City of Traders this turn. Unfortunately, my Nexus of Becoming tokens are just not going to be strong enough here. And I did board out my answer in Portal to Phyrexia, so I would have to find a Karn to get my Portal, which is just not really happening. I would have to have, like, my own constructs here. I guess a Metamorph is a good one. Ancient Tomb, yeah. I mean, we're just simply so far behind. There's, like, so little we can do. I'm surprised they didn't even go for extra draws here. Maybe they just have Third Force. Maybe they have Hercule. I guess Hercules you can't do. Alright. I guess I get to draw a card. That's fun. It's not an artifact or a creature, so all right. I have been vanquished pretty badly this time. These matchups are, like, probably our worst matchups, and it's all we're jamming into, but can't escape. All right. Round 4. Hopefully we can get something a little more fair, or get a really broken hand. Both of those are acceptable in my eyes. This is a really nice one. on the play is also a big deal. This deck is... all workshop decks really want to... I mean, all Magic decks want to be on the play, but especially when you're not playing Force of Will, being on the play is, you know, a little bit exuberated. Exuberated? Yeah, sounds right. Sequencing wise here, we're gonna go Jet, Workshop, Monolith, and then with the last 2 mana, Sphere. Oh, they are Dredge. Huh. Is this hand still okay if they're Dredge? Yeah, I guess so. So this Sphere makes it so they can't play Grief, or Force, or Force, or Force, or Force. So I'm not going to play a second Sphere. A second Sphere would stop them from being able to play Hollow One, but I think it's much more important that we play a Golos on the next turn. Especially because Golos blocks Hollow One anyways, right? So the problem is we need a Wasteland as soon as possible so they don't dredge through their whole deck, but we also probably need a Saga. Icarid double Dredger has a Hollow One. One Hollow One, like I said, doesn't matter. We have a 3/5. Wasteland's my best draw. Mox. Play this out and get a Golos. I just think it's going to be too late is likely the problem here. There's like not much I can really do though. Also, I don't have any ley lines in my board, which could be a problem as well. Also, they just have a Wasteland of their own in the main. I don't really have a good card that like locks them out or anything though, so I feel like it's just get a Wasteland. And I was kind of, I guess if they had a Force for my Sphere, then it wouldn't really have helped me very much. Oh, I guess though, ooh, Flamekin Zealot, oh, that's gonna be pretty good here. Well, they didn't hit too many big dredges, which is nice. That was not a great set of dredges, but it seems like they're gonna be on a build that will overpower me though. All right. Oh, double amalgam. They pitched an amalgam to hand size here, or to discard here. That's pretty good. Then they dredge 5. They can't cast therapy at least. I guess they can't cast therapy and they can't cast dread return. So maybe it doesn't actually matter. So it's just I have to beat these Icarids, and prize amalgams, which I'm also not currently doing. I don't have a tabernacle in the main, don't have a bog in the main, don't have anything like that. Just take the block here. That saves me a life. And then... because they can't Noxious Revival. The problem is their board is too strong. Like, I need to draw something good. Maybe a Nexus of Becoming. Another Sphere effect. Yeah, I mean, there's like no point in playing another Sphere effect. I just don't think we have the requisite power in our hand to come out of this one alive, especially with double Icarid, plenty of dredgers. They have double amalgam. It's just I don't have enough time. I definitely need, yeah, rough. We have some good cards to bring in though. We have a Cage, a Soul Guide, Bridge from Below as well. Yeah, wow. I have nothing now. We're just super stone dead here. I have a Tabernacle, Cage, Lantern, Needle, Wormcoil Engines. Yeah. Dredge is pretty good into Wasteland. I think if we had a Wasteland in our hand, And we were able to get Saga with the Skolos. We might have had a chance, though. All right, well. Sundering Titan and Chalice are garbage. Wormcoil is good. Wormcoil is good. Shadow Spear is good. Tabernacle is good. Needle is good. Cage is good. And Lantern is good. Don't really feel like Trinisphere is necessary. Any sphere does the same thing. God Pharaoh statue. I really don't feel like Crucible is that necessary either, but these Metamorphs definitely get a lot worse in this matchup. So that's probably fine. These Metamorphs are pretty just bad in this matchup. So like, you don't need a second sphere, right? The first sphere is usually good enough. I guess technically post board they'll probably have Wastelands. So it's not like lockout. But I do think I'm gonna keep this portal in. I guess there's a world where no. I was thinking about Sphinx, but its power toughness is important, so it doesn't actually work from here. It's kind of a weird setup. I mean, we have good cards. This matchup isn't as good as it could be. We could have more Tabernacles. We could have Ley Lines. But it's certainly fine. This looks like a keep and probably play out Time Vault and Soul Guide Lantern. If my opponent Vigors Vault Lantern, I think that's okay. But I would rather not have my Lantern get taken by Grief. Gonna strip mine them no matter what next turn. Maybe I am supposed to hold Lantern, actually. Yeah, actually, I'm kind of into the idea of holding Lantern, so I'm gonna try holding the Lantern. Obviously, it can get Grief, but we do have backup plans for that, and I think it's better than... Like, it's certainly better if I play it after I Wasteland. Or it's certainly better if I play it before I Wasteland, so that I can get their best Dredger and then Wasteland and prevent them from getting Noxious Revival, right? They discarded a hollow one to hand size and then played hollow one. That must mean they have multiple pieces of interaction. I'm gonna use Soul Ring as mental misstep bait. All right, I'm going to play a Soul Guide Lantern. Can't imagine this is resolving. Is resolving. All right, well, I'm gonna get their Dredger. And then I'm gonna Wasteland them. I can't. They pitched a hollow one to hand size. Is it a misclick or not to discard? Is it a misclick or they have double interaction here? They don't seem to have anything. Maybe just a misclick then. I don't know. Maybe they have like 3 Bazaars in hand. I'm not sure. Unsure. If they don't have another Bazaar, then at least we can cast Nexus next turn. The good news is if I got Vigored, I guess I could draw a card if I wanted. So they have Strip Mine of their own. I guess that's going to stop us from doing fun things. And they're going to just try to tempo us out. But if that was their plan, shouldn't we have played 2 hollow ones? 2 hollow ones would be a huge problem here. Don't really have a hand that beats 2 hollow ones. Another Nexus of Becoming. Well, it's not great. I think it's better for me to play a city than show Strip Mine, but That could be wrong as well. I mean, another nothing from their hand. So I just assume we're gonna take 5 hits from this hollow one and die. They have a they drew a second. Bruh. They drew a second Bazaar. Maybe they had a second Bazaar and they just wanted to strip mine me off a turn. That would make sense given the way they played this game out. And they just wanted to take a turn to strip mine me. It definitely makes my playing a city plan kind of garbage. Justin, it's so bad. I mean, I'm just gonna die this hollow one, right? I have no mana now. I could have avoided this fate by simply playing a strip mine, but just did not work out. I only have very few amount of turns left. I can't even, there's no card I can draw that even lets me play this on the same turn, so. I just need to draw a Tabernacle off the top so that I can kill this hollow one. It's kind of my out. I don't have a single draw that lets me play this Nexus now because I played this. I mean, I just thought they didn't have a second Bazaar because they played a strip mine, but that's not, that wasn't a guarantee. Ancient Tomb. Okay. I'm going to 4. At some point, I could draw with this Lantern. I'm trying to stop them from using an Noxious Revival, but maybe I'll probably end Lantern end of turn. They just have a third Bazaar. Yeah. Ah! We're 15 cards in the deck. What is that? As long as there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, it has enter the battlefield, draw 3, discard 2. Are we memeing? Are we memeing here? What are we doing? I can't win. Can't beat an Icarid. I can't beat an Icarid and a hollow one. My only out is to draw a Wolf Key. I'm gonna draw because I don't know how I'm gonna win. I mean, I assume they have a force in their hand, right? That's got to be true. Through the workshop. Unfortunately, I'm just dead to the Icarid, so I mean, let's cast it. I don't think this is resolving either, but I don't think I played this game well, but also the things that happen in this game are perplexing to say the least. Triple Bazaar, hollow one to the yard, no dredgers. I don't know what's going on. I can draw a cage. If I draw a cage, turn this Nexus of Becoming into a 3/3 and play a cage, and they have no answers of any kind, which, like I said, it can't possibly make sense that they have no answers. I guess theoretically their hand could have been like multiple Bazaars and strip mine. I don't know. Well, I can't play the cage because, yeah, nah, I got nothing. I'm just dead. I am just dead. Man. All right, well, we got bodied. All right, I have no idea what god I offended during this content creation section, but I have just paired up against the Italian PO Master. So this is 4 matches versus decks that contain paradoxical outcome. What am I supposed to do? I feel like I'm being cruelly and unusually punished for my my choices here. Ancestral on my upkeep. Oh no, Scopade. I mean, I just this is I wanted to show off a cool card. Instead, I'm just getting combo killed like it's 2019. Is it 2019? It might be 2019. Just I see you signed up for a vintage league on Magic Online. Would you like to play against Paradoxical Outcome 5 times? No. No, I don't really want to. I also kept the all mana hand and then drew more mana. Not ideal. So unfortunately, if they're on PO, which is usually the case, they're going to have a lot of dress downs, which is going to make my plan kind of silly. My current plan to make saga tokens, that is. They also have more sagas than me. Sign of a powerful gamer, of course. All right. Well, I wish I had a good thing I could get off my saga. I don't think I do I? Like, I don't have a Sensei's Top. Repeal? Make your own construct? I don't even have a needle. I did draw my own saga, though. Are they gonna fetch before I needle their saga? Nope, don't care. No, they are unbothered. All right, well, I'm attacking. what am I supposed to do, man? All I have is a saga and a dream. One man, one saga, one dream. All right. I mean, there's just a 0% chance I live, right? Make a construct, sure. They made a 1/1. I got 9/9s. Maybe I just win. Maybe they have no answers, no combos, and I just make 2 9/9s and win. The mythical 1 land 20 power win. It's possible. They can't even survive with blockers here because I have a manifold key. So if I draw a land off the top, sorry, if I draw a resolved artifact off the top, that's a lethal 11/11. I mean, the most common scenario here would be dress down, but I guess dress down does cost 4. But they can just get mana off of the saga, so. Yeah. I'm sorry, chat. I wanted to show you a cool brew with a cool new card, and we got PO'd. Yep. Very, very normal. All right, Black Lotus. 3rd Saga Gaming. And a key from hand. And they can play a Timefall from hand, and it is lethal. The Natty. It's a pass. Passerino. All right. I mean, I do need to technically resolve a artifact to have a lethal attack here. I guess I don't. If they force of will, I don't actually have to resolve it. Play. I didn't actually check my mana, but I'm pretty sure I need enough mana to make everything. I probably have enough mana actually. But if I play this and I make a construct and I make it unblockable, and they have to have a removal spell. Is it enough? Yo, Manifold Key is definitely a huge part of why Saga is so good, though. That's definitely a true statement. This card, wow, the mythical Saga gaming kill. The no interaction, I kill you with my 10-10s kill has actually occurred. This might be the first time on stream this has occurred. But Manifold Key is a huge part here. I actually think this Manifold Key is was a huge design mistake in terms of directly vintage, which doesn't matter in design, but the fact that these constructs are always unblockable no matter what, basically, it really negates a lot of the downsides because these things aren't trampling. So in a world where Manifold Key doesn't exist, you could play cards like Young Pyromancer, and you could just block construct tokens forever. But the fact that they're frequently unblockable, it makes it really, really hard to like answer creature for creature. You have to answer with like a dress down or engineered explosives or deed or one of those kind of things, which is pretty frustrating, I would say. I definitely think that I wish Manifold Key did not exist. All right, I'm going to take out Titan. The same stuff we've been taking out. Titan, some Nexuses, because we're bringing in a bunch of Null Rods. We might bring in Cage because they're tinkering. I don't know if that's actually correct, but it feels reasonable enough. And then I think we need Caracas. I do like Chalice, but I don't like Trinisphere. Because they're probably playing traditional Tinker PO is what I would assume they're playing. And then I want access to a Crucible, but I don't want more than one Crucible. I'm just gonna do something like this. Maybe a second Crucible is not. I mean, the third Crucible isn't bad. None of my cards are super bad. I guess maybe I should cut the Grim Monolith and play some of those other cards. And it's not exact science. Definitely could be convinced that I made sideboarding mistakes there. All right. This hand's great. It's got a Null Rod. It's got a Sphere. It's got a Workshop. It's got a Trap. This is definitely a keeper. We'll go F6, and then hopefully after 2 spells, I'll quickly F3. And see if we want to trap something. Little juke. Little bait. I don't have a Mindbreak Trap. I'm F6. Fooled you. We'll see. Sometimes that comes back to bite you, like in one of my latest videos. Actually, probably the last video since this one. No, not the KCI video. The one of my videos. Discover Ngami with an F6. All right, Mock Sapphire, Urza's Saga. It's not the second spell. Mock Sapphire, Urza's Saga. Urza's Saga is pretty good here. No wasteland in my hand. Now what, powerful wizard? What bring you to the table? What bring you to the table? Yeah, sure. Time Walk. All right, I guess. That's that. This is the unholy, ungodly trio here. Urza's Saga, Mock Sapphire, Time Walk negate all the downsides of Saga in one go. You immediately get to make tokens. You don't miss out on blue mana. It's just everything anyone has ever wanted from their Saga gaming. That trio is absurd. Oh my god, Saga. Another one. All right, well, if my Null Rod resolves, it's only one construct, he said, knowing full well nothing was resolving. Actually, we do have a backup line here. If we go Grim Monolith first, that doesn't actually help us. Justin, what are you doing? Justin, what are you doing? I guess it kind of helps us because we get to play Null Rod into Sphere. I just don't think Sphere is very good right now, unfortunately. It is good if I Null Rod them, though. So, Sphere does not play well with Trap for anyone keeping track at home. We are representing we could have a follow-up Sphere or Null Rod. I definitely would never play Sphere first here, though, because we're just dead on board to Sagas that way. Rainstorm in response. All right, so they are not willing to let this resolve. They're looking for a force, and they're choosing not to get a Saga token. So that means our Sphere is going to resolve. I'd love them both to resolve. feel like I'd be in a great spot if that was the case. Obviously, they could still have Island Hercules Recall, but they did find Force of Will and Force of Negation. All right, well, I have a Sphere. Not 100% sure I should play the Sphere, though. Just because they do have the ability to make constructs from here. We have our own Saga and our own Metamorph, so there like is some counterplay construct-wise, but they're just so far ahead of curve because they played Time Walk Sapphire, the ugly trio. No construct off this one. Probably just get a Soul Ring. Was definitely hoping we could have resolved a Null Rod there. But it did seem kind of unlikely. I'm F6 because wow, they had their one strip mine. That's only the worst possible outcome that could have ever happened for me. So they got fixing off of Jet, and they played their one strip mine. Well, not great. I'm gonna make another Saga token here. Ugh, strip mine and Wastelands. Those are the cards that are running this format right now. Crazy good. Needle on Saga? Damn. The good news here is if I draw a Workshop... Nah, there's no good news. I think we're gonna die. I actually do not believe there is, in fact, good news. Hitting a traditional PO player is... Basically, only this player is the only one left. It is not good for me. All right, so I think we do this and we play a Metamorph as a construct token. It's not big enough yet, but hopefully if I don't die this turn, I untap, I get an artifact with this, an artifact with this, and then maybe another artifact, and maybe we're big chilling. We'll see. We will see. I think it's better than like getting a Grim Monolith or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 off a Soul Ring. Oh, I need 7. I guess I can get a Mana Vault. Mana Vault is a little dicey here, though. Maybe I did make a mistake in not playing. Well, I need a construct token. I need to be able to block 2 things anyways, so. Not that I'm convinced we have a lot of choices happening right now. Oh, Ancient Tomb. I can go to 1. Okay. So I can get a Soul Ring. A Soul Ring. Get an Ancient Tomb. Lose my City of Traders. I do need to hit an artifact off of this Nexus of Becoming. They also have to not have Force again. They also have to not have Counterspell or anything. They had an Orcish Bowmasters and pinged me to death. Fantastic. Also, this is a draw. This is an untake backable draw. Ooh, would have been a Null Rod. That would have been interesting. Would have been a 3/3 Null Rod. All right, transfer back in on the play here. I'm gonna trim another Nexus of Becoming. I just can't. Not against this Bowmaster gamer. Yeah, this was not the greatest. I did not get to show off Nexus of Becoming very much in this league, and that is kind of what happens when you queue up for a league. There are a lot of decks in Vintage where your opponent's deck makes it about themselves. So if you play against Dredge, the stuff that you're doing doesn't really matter a lot of the time, depending on the deck, of course. Like, you could be playing a combo deck and maybe it does. But you're kind of forced to just play things that beat Dredge. And then that's kind of the same for this PO and Tinker stuff as well. So I didn't really get to show off the Nexus too much in this league, which is unfortunate. But I mean, in the one game we did have it in play, you could see what it was kind of doing. So there's something there. It definitely has a reasonable output. Free spells and draw cards. It costs a lot. It's probably not supposed to be a 4 of. But I'm gonna jam Trinisphere because it's a game-winning play on the play in turn 1. Obviously, I'd love to use my mana super efficiently, but I think you're just always supposed to jam that Trinisphere there, because if they don't have an answer to it, they just straight up lose. In this case, Lodestone wasn't stopping artifact mana anyways, so Lodestone definitely worse against PO. God, another Saga. They are the master of the Saga. All right, maybe I could have wastelanded this. I'm not convinced I'm supposed to, in case I draw a if I draw a Sphere or Nullrod. I won't have 6 mana. Drew another Strip Mine. Alright, well, I'm going to wasteland you. And then, they didn't float a white, so they don't have Swords to Plowshares. I'm going to play with Lodestone Golem. Alright, Lodestone is a Resolver. It's Underground Sea. Sphere. All right, definitely wasteland you. I see. All right, well, then I'm going to... Oh my god, can I play both? Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to play a second Lodestone. So Force. I mean, I had to do it in this order so I could get a Sphere Resistance out after, but... I mean, they have 2 cards. I have a Lodestone and a Sphere. Well, I keep having lands. Racing my Mana Crypt. Manifold Key. I have Vigilance. They're at 9. Lodestone is super powerful, but they have hit land drops after getting wastelanded twice. I want to flip. Karn, the Great Creator. You don't say. All right, I'm going to definitely attack first. See if they have an answer. 1 card left in hand. Is it a Bowmaster? Black mana Bowmaster? Or Swords? Ah, they're just faking out on the Swords. Okay. Well, I got a Karn, so... Oh, it costs 6. That's okay, though. Because I will untap. One-sided Nullrod effect. Get wrecked. All right, we actually beat Pio. Okay, not bad. Karn is, I mean, that hand was extremely strong. That was definitely a top draw. So we end up with a 2-3, which is, I mean, I kind of expect a 2-3. This is a very vintage level deck. You're playing a high quantity of vintage level cards, even if we're not sure that Nexus of Becoming is incredibly strong. Obviously, the Moxen, Workshop, Sphere, Shell is something that's existed for many, many years in Vintage and has always been very strong. So we'll probably revisit this card after we try out some other cards in the near future. We might try something a little bit more experimental with some big blue creatures, maybe try to put Traxa in play or something. Maybe we refine this deck list a little bit. Maybe we just run this deck back because it's unfortunate that we weren't able to find like some more fair matchups where we could really shine. I do think that this card is more of a grinding card than a card that is well suited to be good against combo decks. And we played against 4 combo decks, 1 Jewel, 2 Luris Breach PO, 1 Tinker PO, and then we also played against Dredge, where this card is not very good. So I would say we played against 0 matchups where this card would have been good. which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Sometimes you can't control my opponents in a league, and that's the easiest way to find opponents. So I hope you enjoyed this first attempt at a Outlaws of Thunder Junction card in Vintage. I think this card is very playable. It's not embarrassing to have in your workshop deck. It's probably more of a 1-of or a 2-of card anyways. Like a traditional Golos Sphere Shell probably could use one of these or 2 of these. It's possible. Let me know if you end up trying this card in Vintage, or actually in any format, but definitely Vintage because of Workshop. And let me know if you have any ideas on how to use this card in maybe a more experimental way, putting in large creatures. I'm down to hear any ideas that chat would have about that. Don't worry, more Vintage content coming out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on this YouTube channel, especially new cards. I have lots and lots of new cards from the Outlaws of Thunder Junction that I want to try. I will see you then.